darkness, tense, uncontrollable shaking. These are the feelings that the youth of today experience. Feelings that are just not spoken about. Feelings that can be traced to many problems in today's society. And that is because the young adults of today are dealing with depression and anxiety at alarming rates. This issue is one that I wanted to get to the bottom of because I myself have personally dealt with depression and anxiety. Yes, the person you see on screen right now. And I don't want to see others go through the same as I did, especially if there is a way of avoiding it from happening. And I personally believe that the reliance on social media and technology, as well as the lack of parents in the lives of these young adults, are the main reasons why in 2019, young adults are suffering from depression and anxiety. But that's my theory. And in order to prove it, I needed to interview both my mentors, Michael Stewart and Miss Holly, who are professional counselors who have been practicing for more than 20 years. And they allowed me to gain a whole new perspective. But let's just say it didn't go the way I wanted it to. I just wanted to make a disclaimer that the direction I wanted to take this film originally surrounded the interviews. But something might have occurred. See, in the audio with the interview with Miss Holly is corrupted. It is terrible. And instead of explaining it to you, I'd rather much show you a sample.
And then I see them maybe in their late 20s, early 30s, when, they can come themselves. And where we have to deal with a lot of these issues that have perpetuated through their 20s.
As you can see, the audio in the background has static in it, and that's because of the wave interference between the FaceTime call that I screen recorded and the audio that I saved through the voice recorder that I have. So instead, I'm going to elaborate on what she said in relation to my theory. And luckily for you guys, the interview with Michael Stewart went a lot better, but I'm still going to explain what he said. At the end of the day, both my mentors helped tremendously, and they're going to elaborate on the impact of social media and the absence of parents, and at the end, give you advice so you can take with you. So without further ado, let's get this started. According to Ms. Holly, social media can have both positive and negative impact. We currently live in a society that portrays what she likes to call social media lives, where we only show the best of ourselves and not the reality of what is happening. And that is not necessarily a good thing. It doesn't show our true selves, especially when you consider the fact that cyberbullying is a thing. And she really went on a tangent about that, how the words that we say can stay with us forever. And at the end of the day, in some cases, mental abuse can be far worse than physical ones. I think everyone can agree that the most important and tough job in the world is parenting. And that's because they don't receive any training at all for it. But if there was something that Miss Holly and I agreed on, it's that parenting has deteriorated. And that comment's to be taken with a grain of salt. Because it's not the parents' fault. It's the fact that they've been limited to two choices. Either they take care of their children and give them all of their attention, or they put food on their tables so that their children can live happy and prosperous lives. And most parents choose the latter. And that has led to unfortunate circumstances where children feel abandoned, feel like they can't communicate and trust their parents because they aren't giving them the attention they need. And this could be applied to schools too. Schools are so focused on giving them the tools and the education they need so they can succeed and impact our society in positive ways in the future. And that's what everyone is so worried about, when in reality, we should be focused on the present, on the now. Children need to be asked what's wrong with them. Young adults need to be heard about their feelings, about the emotions that they're portraying through themselves in their mind. The role of parents is simple. Moderate the technology that your children are going through. And then while you're doing that, ask them what's wrong. Ask them about their day. Be nosy. Some parents don't feel comfortable doing that because they feel like they're being too invasive, and children and young adults beg for their freedom and their privacy. But you're their parent, and they could be going through something that you might not even realize. So continue to ask, continue to be there for them, because that's all it takes. It takes one person, and that person should be you, the parents. According to Michael Stewart, parenting is
the most difficult task in the world.
And I couldn't agree more. I, of course, had to ask them about the impacts of social media and technology. And this is what he had to say.
Socialization has changed in 30 years with the advent of telephones and, Snapchat and tweeting and all that good stuff that young people like to do. And so their idea of socialization is not face-to-face socialization as much as it is the interaction between their telephones, And so when they have issues with people, they don't know how to confront somebody and deal with a problem that hits them face-to-face because they're so used to dealing with it on the phone rather than saying, I've got to sit here with you and discuss why you did what you did. And so that has made it difficult. I'm always amazed when I go into a restaurant and even babies, on their little carry things, have a little TV thing there where they can watch the cartoons while their parents are eating dinner. Yeah. And it's amazing to me. So I don't know if that's a single parent thing or a dual parent thing. I know it's a problem.
Miss Holly and Michael Stewart, both of the counselors that I interviewed, agreed on a couple of points. The first being that counselors are not miracle workers. They are not going to solve the depression and anxiety in these young adults through 1-hour sessions once per week. It's just not possible. Because the effort that these counselors are putting in is also going to be required for the clients. The clients need to be able to put in the effort to want to perceive and achieve a happy and stable life. Medication is also offered because, unfortunately, in some circumstances, depression and anxiety is genetic, and it does run through families. And lastly, trust and confidence is required not only between the patient and the client to the counselor, but between the parents and the counselor as well. They need to trust and have confidence that the situation will get better. Because, simply enough, getting through depression and anxiety is a long journey that is filled with many obstacles. But with support and effort, you can get better. Our advice for you is this: you are not alone. You are worth it. Talk to someone. You can get through this. Well, thank you for listening to my film. And this is Nestor Rodriguez Garcia signing out.